This channel is proudly sponsored by Dead3 Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released the Whispers of Copperridge adventure module. You will find all of the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Cultos Innombrables. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this tabletop RPG where you play as the Mythos cultists instead of the steadfast investigators, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the fiction of Guía de Viaje. In this short story, this is perhaps the most confusing of all of the short stories included in this book. The main character is basically a guy who goes into these drug-fueled trips. He seems to be the brother of one of the characters from previous stories, the man that was being controlled, or rather his body was serving as a vehicle for one of the members of the Great Race. So this is his brother, and he fell into this sort of madness, I would say, interpret it however you want. He fell into this routine of putting so many substances into his body, experiencing all sorts of crazy, wacky journeys and trips, but it also gives you the impression that some of those drugs had been taken from Lovecraftian grimoires, that is the formulae, and sometimes they go into weird dimensions. This is obviously taking a toll on their bodies because he has a group of people that undergo those journeys, but his mind is so messed up to the point that he cannot perceive reality as reality itself. He looks at reality as if it's some sort of video game. Sometimes his view switches from isometric perspective to first-person shooter mode. He actually mentions this. And when someone speaks, he can actually see those like text boxes or text bubbles or text lines above the characters or the people he is actually interacting with in real life. So it is a very confusing and wacky fragment of fiction. Rather, the entire short story is very confusing because of that, because you are looking at things through the perception of this man whose entire awareness has been completely distorted because of the drugs. And there is this moment where you actually have like a hint that they are astral and etheric journeys. And by the end of things, he actually enters this weird ritual. It appears that a group of Cho-Cho cultists are actually carrying out some sort of summoning operation. And one of his friends from the group that undertakes those drug-fueled journeys has actually invaded one of the bodies of the Cho-Cho, of these tribesmen. That is, the consciousness of one of the travelers has gotten into the body of one of these individuals, and that's how the story ends. It is a very wacky and surreal journey. This concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about the magic chapter. So this short story is a bit too confusing. I think it perfectly communicates the sort of distortions that someone that uses substances goes through. It's pretty nightmarish, and it is quite obvious that at the core of it all, this main character fell into this depression. He couldn't cope with the reality of his brother serving as a vessel for a member of the Great Race. And I've seen this plenty of times in normal context situations, but also those so-called occult groups. Whether you're looking for some sort of magical or transcendental experience, or you are just someone supposedly trying to experience new things for the fun of it, for shits and giggles, at the core of it all, there is a very sad individual that no longer cares for his or her body, and they put those substances in order to kill themselves slowly. And that's what always happens. So it's a cautionary tale. You can even see this main character, his perception is beyond hope. It is completely ruined. Who knows what is going to happen to that character? especially because of the poisoning on his body. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel through PayPal or RPG, the information will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment as well. And remember, master roleplay and you will master the game. Once again, thank you and see you later.